What's going on, my friends? So, had something unusual. I call them, I say it's either coincidence or the Lord. So, sometimes I just step out in faith and try and do something. I'm actually at one of the local graveyards. It's a historic site in Selma. Let me show y'all something cool. If y'all have never seen Spanish moss, watch this. So you can see it in the tree. There's no telling how old that oak tree is. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for y'all. See, isn't that so cool? So this is just, they've got, Selma's known for Civil War history. So they've got, for all the Confederate soldiers, they've got the flags, the battle flag and all that, which is kind of crazy, but sometimes things happen, and I say my spiritual antennas go up. So, I got a buddy named Joseph who's one of these crazy Jesus guys who just walks with Jesus in a bold way, and he came in and was talking to me, and earlier in the day I read the story of Elisha. And it was when he laid on top of the young boy and raised him from the dead. And then I had planned, for some reason, I said, I'm going to shoot my encouraging video in the graveyard today just to do a little mixing up. So it was totally just random for me. Well, Joseph came by. He works next door, and he came by and he was talking to me, and he said, and I just mentioned, he said, "Are you shooting a video?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm about to, though. I'm going to head to the graveyard and do it there." And he said, "Man, that's crazy. I just left the graveyard." And I said, "Man, that's unusual." And then he started talking about the story when Elisha laid over the dead boy and raised him to life. And I'm like, man, I literally read through that randomly this morning. And so it got my antennas up, and I guess that's why I'm going off the cusp and doing this is just because I kind of been praying into it. Sometimes when stuff like that happens, I'm like, it's either coincidence or it's the Holy Spirit trying to reveal something, trying to show me something. And kind of what I came up with in my life, there have been dreams that I kind of let die. And it's you just either brush them aside, you think it'll never happen, you sit on it for a long time and just you become hopeless, your heart gets sick, and you don't have any hope. Look at this, is a cool memorial. Man, it'd be scary though if I walked up on that at night. But there's times in life where these dreams just kind of die. And as I was reading that, and that's kind of what I was getting, is like the Lord's like, Ryan, in this season, I'm gonna revive, I'm gonna resurrect some dreams that you've had. And I'm gonna let you start dreaming again with me. The Lord will put desires on our heart and purposes that we have. He'll show them to us. Sometimes it's obvious, but sometimes it's unique ways. And man, I would just encourage you, if you've got dreams that you've let die, I just believe that for He is the resurrector. He's a resurrection and the life. And he'll be able to revive those dreams if you ask him. And I believe, you know, it's crazy enough, but I believe if you're watching this right now, and if you've had some dreams that you've given up hope on, that while you're watching this, that it's coming to mind, and that hope's restored, and that you'll go after them. You'll take steps. You know, a lot of my encouraging videos, it's about starting to take steps and overcoming fear, and all this stuff. And the root of that is me trying to encourage people to go after the desires of their heart and the dreams that they have. So I believe even now that you're sitting there and it's like something's coming to mind and you're like, man, I haven't thought of that in years, or I gave up hope on that. And I just pray that hope's restored for those dreams you might have. And even as a child, you know, we have that. And so go after them. You know, they've got one chance to live, one shot at this life. And there's going to be some things that I'm going to be going after, that I just, you know, they've been dead for a long time, and they're coming back to life. So my friends, I hope y'all have a very blessed evening. Thank y'all for listening to me, and thank you guys for all your continued support. You know, I know how much it really means to me, because to be real, doing these 50 days of encouragement, it's helped me, but there's a lot of times where it's like, man, you know, what am I doing here? And then somebody will write me somebody will comment or write me a message, and it'll be like, man, this thing today spoke to my heart. And in those, it's like, man, it's worth it. You know, it's encouraged one person. And so thank you guys for doing that, because y'all do encourage me. Because sometimes it gets, you know, some days aren't good. Sometimes I'm going through business stuff that's not fun. It's sometimes tough to get into it, but usually when I, you know, read through and just kind of calm myself from the day, the message encourages me too. So thank you guys for all y'all's support. It means the world to me. And like I always say, y'all be happy and love somebody today. Y'all take care.